ang guest na nakaupo pa lamang dito sa hearing room ay sina Justice Midas Marquez at si Attorney Larry Gadon. Narito na po ang pagdinig si Congressman Rinaldo Umali, Chairman ng Justice Committee.
Temporary restraining order in the Senior Citizens Party List case. Unfortunately, due to conflict with the Supreme Court en banc hearing today, Justice De Castro and other invited magistrates of the Supreme Court will not be able to appear today. Thus, the committee is constrained to tackle other allegations under culpable violation of the Constitution, notably the inordinate delay in resolving applications for retirement benefits of justices and judges and their surviving spouses for more than 2 years as charged by Attorney Gadon. At this juncture, let me summarize the factual matters elicited in the previous hearing as testified to by Justice De Castro, who clearly had personal knowledge of the circumstances surrounding the unwarranted revival of the ARCAO and issuance of the TRO on the Senior Citizens Party List case. In her testimony, Justice De Castro explained the contents of her memorandum to the Chief Justice, noting the infirmities on the issuances regarding the reopening of the Regional Court Administration Office in Region 7, and even pointing out the differences between the ARCAO and the Judicial Decentralization Office. To my appreciation, respondent transgressed the constitutional authority of the court en banc by unilaterally issuing an administrative order creating a JDO in the 7th Judicial Region without the authority from the Supreme Court en banc, even undermining the jurisdiction of the Court Administration Office of the Court Administrator, an office created and whose jurisdiction is provided in Presidential Decree number 828. Notably, the creation of the JDO was deemed violative of the constitutional provision that it is the legislature that has the power to create judicial offices. It appears that Justice De Castro's staff was misled that not only the staff of Justice De Castro but other personnel was misled into that the other justices ratified the administrative order creating the ARCAO when in fact no ratification had taken place. In sum, the creation of ARCAO 7 solely by the Chief Justice is a usurpation of a collegial power of the Supreme Court and the legislative power of Congress. The second issue on misrepresentation in the issuance of the TRO in the Senior Citizens Party List case also did not escape the attention of Justice De Castro. As the member in charge in the Senior Citizens Party List case, Honorable De Castro clarified that the Chief Justice violated the internal rules of the High Court. She did this when she issued a TRO different from the recommendation of the member in charge, who has primary control and supervision of such case already raffled to that member. What was unwarranted, as she pointed out as well, is that the respondent made it appear that the TRO she issued was that recommended by the member in charge, which she disputed. Much worse, the TRO issued by the respondent covered party list candidates who are not impleaded or parties to the case, as well as those who have yet to file cases before the court. In short, instead of issuing an order covering only the petitioners in the case and or applying the case law, the respondent issued a blanket TRO benefiting all party lists. The TRO was supposed to be granted to the Senior Citizens Party List based on the merit of their petition. Instead, respondent Chief Justice issued the order for all without taking into consideration the peculiar circumstances of party lists or whether or not these party list candidates have filed cases. These matters would not have been cleared if not for the courageous act of Honorable Justice De Castro to appear before the impeachment proceeding despite the risk of being criticized and, of course, interrogated, if I may say so. The committee acknowledges the respect, the good justice, and the whole Supreme Court and bank that it has given to the House of Representatives as a co-equal branch of government, and for the same attitude she has shown to us in remaining focused on and allowing facts to be revealed. Let us be reminded that the Chief Justice is being charged of usurpation of the collegial power of the Supreme Court, which may be tantamount to culpable violation of the Constitution. The respondent cannot arrogate unto herself the power vested on the court, composed of 1 Chief Justice and 14 Associate Justices. Under the principle of primus inter pares, the Chief Justice is simply the first among equals, but they are all equals nonetheless. Like in the House of the People, the Speaker is the first among the many representatives of the people in this House of Representatives, but we are all congressmen representing our respective districts and constituents with equal voting rights. Consequently, we must, as mandated by our primary charter, to engender a well-founded belief whether the Chief Justice has committed other acts that negligently or culpably violated the Constitution. To further our duty as investigating prosecutors to determine the strength and weight of the allegations, we will discuss today another allegation under culpable violation of the Constitution, that the Chief Justice delayed action on the numerous petitions for retirement benefits of justices and judges and the surviving spouses of judges and justices. Let us now go to this particular allegation, and let me draw your attention to the complaint of Attorney Gadon as well as the reply he filed. Attorney Gadon alleged that the technical working group created by the Chief Justice, headed by one of her lawyers, hardly convened, hence all petitions were shelved and have remained pending for more than 2 years, contrary to earlier acts of the court in approving more than 200 earlier applications in an expeditious manner. These petitions allegedly include 30 surviving spouses of the justices and judges whose ages range from 70 to 90 years old. Allegedly, respondents' inordinate delay in resolving these applications because of incompetence also show her insensitivity and unconscionable acts as a chief magistrate. On the other hand, respondent defended her actions, saying that to improve the speed, efficiency, and consistency in the approval of petitions for retirement benefits, the Supreme Court, through the division chairpersons, issued Memorandum Order Number 43-2015 dated 16 November 2015, which created a special committee on retirement and civil service benefits. Said committee was made responsible for receiving, assessing, and providing recommendations to the Office of the Chief Justice and/or the Supreme Court and Bank with respect to specific requests for the grant of retirement benefits. She claimed that the new system actually improved the efficiency and consistency in the processing of petitions for retirement benefits. She also claimed that the delay in isolated cases cannot be attributed to her, as she is not alone responsible for the processing of petitions for retirement benefits. To clarify matters on these allegations and claims, the committee invited the following resource persons: Attorney Jose Maidas Marquez, Court Administrator, who will testify on the processes of the Supreme Court on the petition for retirement benefits of judges and justices and the surviving spouses of judges and justices. Attorney Ana Lee Arpapa Gombio, the Deputy Clerk of Court and Bank, and the Chairperson of the Special Committee on Retirement and Civil Service Benefits, who has knowledge on the approval and granting process of retirement benefits of these individuals. Attorney Jocelyn Fabian, who is the chairperson of the Technical Working Group under the Special Committee on Retirement and Civil Service Benefits created by the Chief Justice. And Ms. Charlotte Labayani, who is the Chief Judicial Staff Officer from Employees Welfare and Benefits Division under the Office of Administrative Service, Office of the Court Administrator. The testimonies of these resource persons hopefully will aid the committee in determining whether the Chief Justice committed a culpable violation of the Constitution in violating Section 1, Article 11 of the Constitution, which provides public office is a public trust. Public officers and employees must at all times be accountable to the people, serve them with utmost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency. Delay in the performance of a mandated duty on its own may stand as a punishable offense, but when taken together with other violative acts of the Constitution, then it may ripen into an impeachable offense. As for the other invited persons, until this morning, the Supreme Court has yet to release and or promulgate the resolution allowing the attendance of SC officials and employees in the committee hearings. I strongly urge the Supreme Court to immediately issue and or promulgate said resolution so that we will not be constrained by the non-appearance and or inability of the Supreme Court officials and employees, including its members, to attend the committee hearings. As we have done in the past, today and in our subsequent hearings, the members of this honorable committee is called upon to conduct clarificatory questions for purposes of eliciting facts that will aid us in determining and voting upon probable cause whether or not to impeach the Chief Justice. We are not here as lawyers for any party. We are here to clear factual issues and not make conclusions of law. This is not the proper venue to impute or put words into the mouth of our resource persons. Let us veer away from asking misleading questions that impose categorical opinion and or conclusions of law. Our guests are invited persons to shed light on the factual allegations. They are not here as complainants. As appealed by Justice De Castro in the previous hearing, let us focus on determining the veracity of facts devoid of any passion or partisan bias. Impeachment process is a constitutional process. And on a final note, I cannot overstate the importance of this proceeding as an extraordinary mandate bestowed solely upon this impeachment committee to exact accountability from the highest officials of the land who cannot be made liable for their acts criminally or otherwise unless impeached. This is why impeachment proceedings take precedence over all other legislative measures pending before this committee. Given that this hearing involves the highest official from the judicial branch of government, the Chief Justice must account herself to the people. Thus, this proceeding and in this proceeding, and properly defend herself in the House of the People. And so, I would just like to. I am reminded of an article I read over the weekend with respect to the views of one sitting member of the Supreme Court. And allow me to quote some parts of the interview of Honorable Associate Justice Noel Tiham, as published in the news article entitled "Appear in Congress or Violate Constitution," released last Sunday in Manila Times. During the interview, the good justice said that impeachment is a constitutional process and a mandate enshrined in the Constitution. Justices took an oath to defend, preserve, protect the Constitution. If Chief Justice Sereno continues to ignore and continues to refuse to participate in the impeachment process, ergo, she is clearly liable for culpable violation of the Constitution. He likewise said that impeachment is not an invention of politicians. It was drafted by the framers of the Constitution. Media which propagates the myth that impeachment is a numbers game, hence is political and arbitrary, fails to emphasize the fact that the rule of the majority is the essence of democracy. Lastly, the Honorable Justice pointed out that the impeachment is neither an assault on the judiciary nor an infringement on the independence of the judiciary because it is enshrined in the Constitution. Parenthetically, when the SC or the Supreme Court strikes down acts of Congress and acts of the President and the Executive Department for being unlawful and unconstitutional, the Supreme Court is not assaulting the independence of Congress and the Executive Department because the expanded power of judicial review is enshrined in the Constitution. Impeachment perpetuates checks and balances and ensures accountability of our government official. Disobedience to any of the processes and issuance of the committee as authorized by the Constitution is tantamount to disobedience and violation of the law of the land. So, having said that, before I proceed with the other matters, let me just update the members of the committee on the orders issued by the committee in compliance with the show cause order issued by the committee on 28 November 2017. Nasaan yan, show cause order? Yung kay Joshua Santiago. To Attorney Joshua Jerome Santiago, received also on November 28, 2017 at 3 p.m. by Gloria Macapagal. Ano yan? Anyway, meron bang, nandiyan ba si Joshua Santiago? Are you present? Anyway, there is a receipt of this show cause order at 3 p.m. Of November 28. Let me inform the body that said lawyer, the named lawyer, has filed his compliance and explanation. Likewise, a show cause order was issued to Attorney Aldwin Salumbides, which was received on November 29, 2017 at 3:15 p.m. And likewise, he had submitted his compliance and explanation. Another show cause order was issued to Commissioner Roberto Eugenio T. Cadiz, which was received November 29 at 3:49 p.m. by a certain Efren Maniego, and these are all appearing as stamp markings on all of these. But up to this moment, Commissioner Cadiz failed to submit his explanation and compliance with the show cause order. We have likewise requested the Office of the Ombudsman to submit their compliance to the subpoena duces tecum, and let me read to you the reply of the office acting through Assistant Ombudsman Asriman T. Rafanan. And if I may just quote the pertinent portions thereof, certified true copy of Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth, SALN, as of December 31, 1998, of Chief Justice Maria Lourdes P.A. Sereno, then Associate Professor of the University of the Philippines College of Law, which was subscribed in August 2003, which SALN was transmitted by the UP Human Resource Development Office, HRDO, to the Office of the Ombudsman on 16 December 2003, and 2. Original certification of no SALN on file dated 04 December 2017, signed by Ms. Julianne A. Garcia, SALN in charge, and noted by Ms. Natividad T. Abenir, Acting Chief Central Records Division, Office of the Ombudsman Central Office. So yun po ang estado ng request natin from the Ombudsman, except for a 1998 SALN of the Chief Justice, who was then Associate Professor in UP. Wala na pong records exist in that office regarding the SALN of the Chief Justice. We have likewise issued a subpoena duces tecum on the Executive Director of the Judicial and Bar Council, Attorney Annalisa Capacite, and she will appear this afternoon, to my understanding, to clarify this matter. So in this subpoena duces tecum et ad testificandum, she was required to submit the Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth filed with the JBC by the respondent, Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno, when she applied for the position of Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, covering the period 10 years prior to her application, and any and all documents, objects, or things in your possession or control relative to the SALNs filed by the respondent Chief Justice covering the same period. So, any other administrative matter that I should convey to the members? Okay, so
Mr. Chairman.
that is how it stands as of this very moment on the matters of the request and or subpoena issued by this impeachment committee to concerned officers in relation to the conduct of this proceeding. What is the pleasure of the Senior Deputy Majority Leader?
Good morning po, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, point of information po. Kung papayag kayo, tungkol po sa binanggit nyong artikulong balita na lumabas sa Manila Times. Nabasa ko po ito kahapon, December 4. At sulat ng isang Jomar Canlas, kinoquote po niya ang isang Associate Justice nga po, si Noel Tiham. At bila pong background, susugan ko po yung inyong sinabi, nakasaad po dito, tulad na sinabi nyo, napagabigat po ng paratang ni Justice Tiham na kung hindi po makikilahok sa impeachment process ang Chief Justice, siya po ay lumalabag sa konstitusyon. At dito po quoted, impeachment is a constitutional process and a mandate enshrined in the Constitution. Justices took an oath to defend, preserve, protect the Constitution. If Chief Justice Sereno continues to ignore and continues to refuse to participate in the impeachment process, ergo, she is clearly liable for culpable violation of the Constitution, Tiham said. So yung hindi raw pakikilahok ni Chief Justice dito sa prosesong impeachment na nasa konstitusyon ay paglabag sa konstitusyon na sinumpaan niyang dapat ipagtanggol. Dahil po, nung nauna, nakita po natin sa rules mismo natin ng impeachment na pagkasunduan po natin, Section 6, Submission of Evidences and Memoranda. The committee shall have the power to issue compulsory processes for the attendance of witnesses and the production of documents and other related evidence. Ang Chief Justice po dito kasi ay hindi witness. Siya po ang subject ng impeachment case. Siya ang respondent dito. Pero po, sa sinabi ayon kay Mr. Jomar Canlas, sabi po ng kasama na Supreme Court Associate Justice Noel Tiham na paglabag sa konstitusyon ang hindi niya pagharap dito sa prosesong ito. Gusto ko pong malaman, darating po ba si Justice Tiham para maitanong po natin sa kanya ang mga sinabi niyang ito? Kung hindi po si Mr. Jomar Canlas ay makumbira natin, paliwanagan po tayo kung sino talaga ang nakapagsabi nito na ang hindi pagharap ng Chief Justice ay paglabag ng konstitusyon, Mr. Chair.
Yan, magandang katanungan yan at salamat at iyong tinagalog medyo lalong maintindihan ng taong bayan to na nanonood po sa atin. Anyway, yung si Justice Tiham po, inimbitahan po natin pero nagpasabi po siya na siya po ay makakadalo November 11 or 12. December 11 or 12. So, siguro yung kay Jomar Canlas, dahil yan ay, again, hearsay na naman yan, we might as well get it from the justice himself, no? Para mas maliwanag sa ating lahat po, no? And we will have our time for that. Thank you, and please keep that. We will keep that on hold until the proper time comes.
Mr. Chairman, may I also raise a question of personal and collective privilege? Kahapon, nabasa rin natin sa ilang pahayagan at narinig din natin, napanood natin sa telebisyon, yung statement ni Attorney Gadon, complainant Gadon, regarding the 200 million pesos payoff, supposed payoff by a certain oligarchs. He asserts that facts which is not yet proven and according to him not yet verified. Now, we could no longer countenance the act of the said complainant, considering that this committee chastised several lawyers by issuing comments which affects the integrity of this impeachment committee and the legislative department. Here comes the complainant having a statement which, if made against a trial judge or a court, is a sufficient ground for contempt, because, as you have said, those facts are unverified or not supported by any proof. Bine-verify niya pa daw eh. And this affects the very integrity of the proceedings, the very processes, constitutional processes on which he seeks justice, casting aspersion, doubt on the supposed would-be judges in the impeachment court, which are the senators. I advise Mr. Gadon to keep his mouth shut if he cannot verify or reveal to us the oligarchs, the source of this 200 million pesos, and to conduct his position in a way, in observance of the Codes of Professional Responsibility. Let me read to you. You're a lawyer, Attorney Gadon. A lawyer owes candor, fairness, and good faith to the court. And under the said canon of professional responsibility, it says, if you cannot support or you cannot assert as a fact that which has not been proved. So let me just remind again the complainant to refrain. Iwasan po natin. Before the start of this impeachment investigation, narinig ka namin sa TV, sa radio, stating that by December 13, tatapusin na. Meron ng desisyon. So many statements, assertion coming from you, which really affects the integrity of this impeachment court, of this impeachment committee, and again, casting aspersion to the would-be judges of this impeachment complaint, thereby assuming that you already knew that we already have a decision, that we will issue or submit an articles of impeachment and it will be passed by the House and by the plenary. Mali po yun, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for raising that issue. Actually, I was interviewed also on this matter, and I did not want to obfuscate further this proceeding by including this in our deliberations, because definitely this will derail our proceedings and will put astray the real issues on this impeachment proceeding. So, but anyway, Attorney Gadon, you will have your time in Senate when you appear before the Senate, and I'm almost certain the senator judges will call your attention to it and make you explain there. This is not the proper venue to do that because that is more properly addressed to the senator judges. No? Assuming it reaches that point, because we are still in the preliminary stages, isa pa lang po or dalawa pa lang po na mga charges ang napapag-usapan natin dito at wala pa po tayong conclusion. Sinasabi lang natin na at least this will somehow form part of the conclusions that will be the basis for our vote when the same is put on a vote in this committee and eventually in plenary. So, pero ano ang pleasure nyo, Congressman Garbin?
Well, if that statement, Mr. Chair, is not supported by any proof or unverified, I ask for an apology from the complainant, Mr. Chair.
Attorney Gadon?
Mr. Chair, bago po sumagot yung
Congressman Acop is recognized before Attorney Gadon.
I would like to support the contention of the Honorable Garbin because it casts aspersion on our independence, on each and every member of this committee and of the entire committee and House, Mr. Chair. Because I would just like to remind Attorney Gadon of the story, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. kung mas marami pa kayong sinasabi na mga bagay-bagay na hindi totoo, eh baka yung mga tao mismo na makikinig po dito sa ating proceedings ay hindi po maniniwala na po sa inyo. And I think that is the lesson we should get from that story, the boy who cried wolf. In the end, hindi na siya pinaniwalaan ng mga tao nung siya ay sumigaw ng wolf, eh meron ng wolf talaga na dumating. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Akop. Congressman
Mr. Chairman,
Sologo.
that's why I think Attorney Gadon should answer this now. Because otherwise, this committee can cite Attorney Gadon for contempt. Because he's contemptuous of the committee. Inuunahan niya ang ating committee, nasisiraan pa. So, I think he should answer now. What is his proof that indeed there is such money? Where is the source that is going to be given to the senators? That's also aspersion on the integrity of the senators and in this committee. And I'd like Mr. Attorney Gadon to say that I will be the first one to ask for that he be cited for contempt if he will not be able to justify what he has said. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, these are very serious allegations which I agree with Congressman Garbin that indeed discuss as person on the integrity of these impeachment proceedings. But we have here resource persons whom would like to maximize their time and the opportunity given. So I move, Mr. Chairman, that in the light of these developments, Mr. Chairman, I move that the complainant be given 5 days to respond in writing to this so that we could proceed with the schedule for the day. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Your Honor, please. It's a very short explanation. I can do it now.
Okay, so we'll give you 1 minute.
Yes, Your Honor. I was interviewed by a radio commentator, Your Honor, when that na-interview lang po ako ng isang radyo. It was a freewheeling discussion. And palagi kasi natatanong, bakit pa ayaw umattend ni Justice Sereno? Bakit ayaw umattend ng hearing? And then, na sabi ko na meron akong impormasyon na kaya niya ayaw umattend, kasi masyado siyang kumpiyansa na wag na nga tapusin itong hearing dito sa Justice Committee at ipadala agad sa Senado. Kasi meron ako mga impormasyon na nakukuha. Maraming tumatawag sa akin, maraming mga...
You only have 1 minute. Can you
Yes,
go
sir.
direct to the point?
Sinabi ko po doon na, Your Honors, that ako mismo hindi rin naniniwala dahil sabi ko nga hindi naman siguradong magpapayag yung mga senador na sila ay i-bribe. Doon mismo sa mga article, kahit lumabas sa nung article nung Sunday, lumabas kahapon, sinasabi ko doon na hindi ako naniniwala na yung mga senador ay masusuhulan at sila ay titingin sa merits ng case. Kaya wala akong ako nakikita ang contempt doon dahil ako mismo ay tinatanggi ko na mangyayari.
Your time is up. There is a motion duly seconded. You're given 5 days to explain so as not to derail the conduct of this proceeding. So, tsaka mo na lang ikwento uli yan para makatuloy na tayo.
Yes, Your Honor. I submit, Your Honor.
Tapos na muna. Pinag-explain na natin.
Just one comment for that. It's short one, Mr. Chairman. Perhaps we should ask Mr. Gadon, please shut up your mouth. Para naman, hindi, with regards to this interview, parang hindi naman mapasama ang mga proceedings dito.
Yes, Your Honor. I submit, Your Honor.
Thank you. So that is, since you are submitting to the gag order as requested by the Honorable Crisologo, so pakiusap lang, wag na tayong magulo, no? And let's refrain from uttering mga unsubstantiated remarks.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Senior Deputy Congressman Rimpi.
Mr. Chair, magtatanong na po ako, no? Kasi po, base naman po sa ebidensyang dala ni Attorney Gadon, doon po natin makikita yung tibay ng kanyang paratang. Ano po ba? So, pwede yung magtanong na ako kay Attorney Gadon. Attorney Gadon, tungkol po sa nakaraang pinag-uusapan.
Before that, wala pa tayo doon. I think Congressman Garcia would want to raise a point of information.
Point of information and on administrative matters, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Because the chairman had already manifested that pursuant to the show cause order that this committee had issued to 3 persons, 2 lawyers and 1 a commissioner of the
Human rights.
CHR. We are in receipt of 2 manifestations requesting for the kind understanding and apologizing, in effect, for the colorful, if I may quote Attorney Santiago, the colorful language with which they had described these proceedings, in fact, referring to these proceedings as a dog and pony show. And with these 2 manifestations, apologizing for such remarks, we take notice of this, Mr. Chair, but we take further notice of the fact that even though there were 3 persons issued show cause orders and requested to explain within 72 hours, only 2 have responded. And so, Mr. Chair, in light of these developments, I move that
Breaking news, Kong Gwen. Yung CHR kare-receive lang at this very moment. So there seems to be compliance also, although medyo late ng konti because that should have been submitted yesterday at the latest. Pero anyway, siguro just to dispose of this particular issue, we perhaps rather than get the mind of this committee on how to dispose of this explanation filed by the 2 lawyers and 1 commissioner of the human rights. It may be best that we refer this and I hereby create a committee headed by former Justice, now Vice Chairman Veloso, to look into the explanation and submit the recommendation to us on how we will dispose of this particular explanations filed by these 3 gentlemen.
may I just continue and may I congratulate the Commissioner of Human Rights for having made it to the last minute. And we do hope that this is not indicative of how they do conduct their business in the Commission of Human Rights, where they go beyond a stipulated period to comply with a very clear show cause order. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And again, perhaps it may be the opportune time for me to raise this to the members of the House of Representatives to be circumspect also in their pronouncements because as we require, lawyers and or even human rights commissioner to explain to us, we also read in the paper some of our members casting aspersion on the integrity of this committee, of this proceeding, and of the members. And so perhaps it's high time, and I'd like to address this to the senior Deputy Majority Leader because I guess this is a matter that involves our members, and so I'd like to refer the matter to the Rules Committee for purposes of taking the proper action to ensure that our members also observe the proper conduct in the words and the actions that they take with respect to their views on this committee and on this proceeding.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chairman, we have 250 members, and you mentioned 292 members. And you mentioned that one of our members or two of our members are also in the same manner as those whom we asked to show cause for their remarks. So as not to cast aspersions upon the members of this body, Mr. Chairman, may we know who that member is? May we be informed? And what did he say?
I do not have the records with me, so I'd like to be accurate on that. So perhaps I'll ask the COMSEC to collate these materials that came out in the papers and to submit the same to Congressman Bondoc and the Rules Committee.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chairman,
Please, Congressman Ako.
parliamentary inquiry. Are the proceedings we're conducting subject to the sub judice rule?
This is just a preliminary hearing. This is not yet before the court. No matter has been covered by our rules that we cannot discuss this.
Mr. Chair, by way of offering more information, ang mga hearing po natin talaga po nakasaad sa ating rules ay dapat nakabukas sa publiko. Wala po tayong tinatago dito. In Section 6, hearings before the committee shall be open to the public except when the security of the state or public interest requires that the hearings be held in executive session. Kasama din po dito na maaring talakayin ng mga miyembro ang pangyayari na naganap sa committee. Ang hinihikayat lang ng ating chairman na maging maingat po tayo na tayo mismo ng mga miyembro ng kapulungan ang nakakasira sa sarili po nating hearing sa pamamagitan ng ating mga nasasabi.
Maraming salamat, Kong Limpi. Vice Chair Veloso.
And may I also point out, Mr. Chair, that under the Constitution, Article 6, Section 16, Paragraph 3, on our two-thirds vote, that member of Congress can be expelled on disorderly behavior. If it is true that a member of Congress misbehaved by even casting aspersions, very bad aspersions to what we are doing here, and in fact, to a point calling this proceeding as a quote-unquote fucked up proceeding. If you see KAED up. So, may I request that already we take a serious look at this allegation, because this is very serious coming from a member of Congress, of this House of Representatives.
Anyway,
Huh?
the matter is now referred to the Rules Committee. So we would give it to... anyway, I have already directed the COMSEC to provide Congressman Bondoc of the pertinent materials in relation to this issue, and I hope that so as not to derail our proceeding, let the Rules Committee take cognizance thereof and take the appropriate actions to discipline our members. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Mr. Chair,
please, Kong Limpi.
gusto ko pong samantalahin ang presensya ni Justice Marquez sana para makapagtanong na.
Please proceed. We are now in the hearing proper, and naka-oath na siya, no? So you have taken your oath previously?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sige. So, just to remind you that you are testifying under the same order.
Your Honor, before I answer some questions, I prepared an opening statement, just a short one. May I please be allowed to read it?
Please, you have the floor, Attorney Marquez.
Magandang umaga po, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of this committee. Magandang umaga rin po sa lahat ng nandito ngayong umaga. I'm appearing this morning as I have appeared last Wednesday upon the invitation of the Justice Committee in recognition of its constitutional mandate and authority. I am here not to testify for or against anyone, but to perform a sacred and noble obligation, to tell the truth based on my personal knowledge and perceptions of circumstances that have transpired. Allow me, Your Honors, please to refrain from making any conclusions or opinions as they are reserved for the honorable members of this august body. And if I find myself passing judgment in the course of my narration of facts or in response to queries, please be rest assured that they are not meant to denounce or indict anyone, but to let everyone know of the concerns of the judges and court personnel who are my constituents, and for them to get what is due them within a reasonable period of time. In the end, all of us here, myself included, are public servants. We are accountable to the people at all times. The moment we cease to be accountable is the moment we also cease to be public servants. Maraming salamat po.
Congressman Rimpi.
Justice Marquez, salamat po at nandito kayo muli sa aming pangungumbira.
Salamat din po.
Okay, para ho lalo kong maintindihan yung pinag-uusapan natin na paratang ni Attorney Gadon na na-delay ang retirement benefits dahil sa aksyon ng Supreme Court Chief Justice. Babalik ko po yung katanungan nung nakaraan. Yung pinag-uusapan pong ARCAO at JDO sa paglatag ng ating pinag-uusapan. Di po ba yung ARCAO ay naitayo sa pamamagitan ng Administrative Matter 06-1109-SC?
Tama po yun.
Ang ikinabahala po ninyo ay hindi naman po kasi ARCAO ang naitayo. Sa pamamagitan ng Administrative Order 175-2012, ang naitayo ay isang Judiciary Decentralized Office, hindi po yung ARCAO.
Tama po yun.
Yan. So, may elemento pong parang pagsasalamangka. ARCAO ang dapat itayo, ang lumabas, JDO. Ang tanong ko ho, sino ang pumirma ng Administrative Order 175-2012?
Si Chief Justice Sereno po.
Siya lang po ba?
Sa pagkakalam ko, siya lang po.
Ayan po, nasa akin po yung kopya, 175-2012, siya po ang pirmado. At isa po kasing pinupukpok dito, ang Supreme Court ay collegial body. Hindi po pwede magdesisyon ng iisa kung hindi sinasangguni sa kapulungan, division or unbank. Ganun po, di ba ba?
Marami pong mga administrative orders, no, na minsan pirmado lang po ng Chief Justice o ng punong maestrado. Meron din naman pong mga administrative matters na minsan nakapirma po ang court and bank, yung mga members ng court and bank.
Ayan, okay. Dahil yan ang tinatanong ko, dahil ang tibay ng sinasabi din po kasi ni Attorney Gadon ay ang pagdedesisyon ng Supreme Court Justice ng sarili niya. Hindi po ba? Pero doon nga sa nakaraang pinag-uusapan, ang pag-create ng ARCAO, ang lumabas, JDO. Salamangka nga. Pupunta ngayon tayo dito sa punto ng retirement benefits. Ang sinasaad ni Attorney Gadon, gumawa ng technical working group ang Chief Justice sa pamamagitan ng SC Memorandum Order 43-2015 at itong technical working group na ito ang naging dahilan sa mababagal na pag-release ng retirement benefits. Ang tanong ko, Justice Marquez, sino po ba ang pirmado sa Memorandum Order number 43-2015?
Point of order, if the Honorable Deputy Majority Leader may allow. Mr. Chairman, just for my information, are we proceeding with our resource person on all the topics, or do we go by one on the specific charges and then we discuss them? Just so para lang hindi ako malito, I'm sorry. Kasi tumalon na tayo from ARCO, direction na tayo sa other matters.
Mr. Chair,
Doon po sa kaninang opening ko ay sinabi ko nga na ang itatakel natin itong inordinate delay in the processing and grant of retirement benefits, no. Siguro premise lang niya 'yon. So I guess we can allow this to be asked.
I'm sorry for butting in.
Thank you.
so, thank you, Mr. Chair. Tinatanong ko po, mas gusto ko pong itanong na kay Justice Marquez para wala hong bias, yung Memorandum Order 43-2015 creating the Special Committee on Retirement and Civil Service Benefits. Sino po ang pumirma nito?
Pag creation po ng committee, maaring 3 justices po yan, yung 3 senior. Yung chairpersons po ng first, second, and third division.
Tama po yan kasi may kopya po ako dito. Nakikita po natin yung creation ng Technical Working Group, pirmado naman po ni Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno, pirmado din po ni Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio, at pirmado din ng Associate Justice Presbitero J. Velasco Jr. Kaya po sa puntong ito, sa complaint ni Atty. Gadon, hindi ko nakikita yung sinasaad niya dito sa 4.4.2, Respondent Sereno created a technical working group headed by one of our lawyers who knew nothing much. Obviously, the technical working group is not the creation of her alone. Justice Marquez, please.
Your Honors, meron po sana akong hinandang presentation na kung saan mailalahad ko yung lahat. Kung mamarapatin niyo po at pagbibigyan niyo ako ng pagkakataon, hindi naman ho masyadong mahaba. Pero ito na ho yung buong kwento ng nangyari dito, pati po yung pagtayo ng mga committees at technical working groups po.
Sige po, Mr. Chair, I yield my time.
Please proceed with the video presentation.
Okay. Nagsimula po itong usaping to, no? Nung ako po ay nung una ko pong pinag-aralan ko ano nangyari dito ay sometime in October or November 2016, no? Last year po, sometime October or November 2016, when my office received requests, numerous requests actually, no, to expedite the resolution of applications for survivorship benefits, no. One particular request was actually a text message from a not so distant relative who is already well into her years, no. If you will allow me, Your Honors, babasahin ko po yung text message na aking natanggap. Okay. Ito po ay natanggap ko November 2, 2016. Alas 10 po ng umaga. Hindi ko na po babanggitin kung kanino nang galing kasi hindi naman po ako nakahingi ng pahintulot na banggitin ang kanyang pangalan. Pero katulad po ng nasabi ko, ito po ay isang kamag-anak na medyo hindi naman malapit na kamag-anak, no? Si Tita XXX would like to ask your help for the widow of Justice Colayco of the Court of Appeals. She is 94 years old with special care necessary. Do you think she can make use of the survivor benefits under the law? I hope and pray so with your help. Thank you for listening. Sumagot po ako kaagad. Ang sagot ko po, Hi Tita, is there a pending petition or application na po with the court? Sumagot po siya, Yes, Maidas, thank you for responding. Crossing my fingers, she's a friend of many years. And though she has lost and still losing her memory, she still remembers me. Sumagot po ako, okay po tita, let me check the status. Sumagot siya, maraming salamat. That same afternoon, at 2:43 p.m., sumagot po ako. Hi, Tita. Was just given feedback. Apparently, it is pending with the technical working group in the Office of the Chief Justice. I've asked for a list of pending applications and will take the issue to the court. Sumagot po siya, thank you very much, praying for this and for you. Sumagot po ako, salamat po. 5 days later, November 7, 10:34 a.m., good morning. May I know if there is news about petition of Mrs. Colayco? Thank you. Sumagot po ako, Tita, it's still pending with the technical working group under the Office of the Chief Justice. I will submit a memo to the court within the week to bring it to the attention of the court and bank. Sumagot po siya, sana kasi 94 years old na siya. Bihira ang nakakarating dito. Salamat. Sumagot po ako, opo nga po. I also don't know what is taking them so long. Sumagot po siya, we continue to pray. Sabi ko po, yes, please po, marami po nakapending. Sumagot siya, salamat, salamat. After 7 days, November 14, nag-text na naman po, good morning, hingi lang sana ako update, petition for survivorship, salamat. Nahiya po ako, hindi ko nasagot dahil wala po akong update. After 4 days, nag-text na naman, Maidas, gandang umaga, may nangyari na ba mga petition, survivorship, salamat. Ang sagot po, Tita, just edited the draft the other day for submission to the court. Ang dami po pala kasing pending. Sumagot po siya, salamat. At marami pa po siyang text messages, no? December 1, sorry Maidas, Tita here. December 10, Maidas, sorry late text, may balita ba tayo? Thank you. December 16, Maidas, sorry, bother again, may balita ba? Tita, salamat. Sabi ko na lang po, nung December 16, hi Tita, no progress yet. We'll follow up po again in January. Court is on recess na po. Okay? Now, so, dito po, no, pinag-aralan ko pong mabuti kung ano ba yung hinihiling nilang petition for survivorship benefits, no. So, dalawang batas po to, no. RA 9110, RA 910, effective 20 January 1953, as amended by RA 9946, effective 11 February 2010. No? So ano po ba yung naging amendment noong 9946? Dalawa po ang main features ng 9946. No? Meron pong survivorship benefits at meron pong automatic pension adjustments. No? Ano po ba yung survivorship benefits? Ang ibig po sabihin ng survivorship benefits, no? At ito po ay nakasaad no? Sa paragraph 2, section 3 of RA 910 as amended by 9946. No? And I quote, upon the death of a justice or judge, the surviving legitimate spouse shall be entitled to receive all the retirement benefits that the deceased justice or judge would have received had the justice or judge not died. The surviving spouse shall continue to receive such retirement benefits until the surviving spouse's death or remarriage. So, ang atin pong mga justices at judges, pag namatay po sila after they retire, ang kanila pong naiwang asawa, no? Ang makakatanggap ng kanilang natatanggap hanggang mamatay po ang kanilang asawa. Now, meron pong retroactivity clause yan, no? At yan din po ay section 3B, no? Of 9946. The benefits under this act shall be granted to all those who have retired prior to the effectivity of this act, provided further that the benefits to be granted shall be prospective. Okay. Ano po ang ibig sabihin nun? Okay. Yung 9946 po, no? As enacted by Congress, no? Binibigay po sa mga asawa ng mga namatay na justices at judges ang benefits na dapat sa mga justices at judges. No? Kaya lang nga po, namatay sila, kayong kanilang asawa, mapupunta doon ang kanilang benefits. Kung halimbawa po yung judge or justice namatay after 9946 took effect, which is February 11, 2010, meaning yung judge po namatay 2015, wala pong issue yon. Yung asawa po ng judge na yon makakatanggap kung ano natatanggap ni judge or justice. Now, nagkaroon po ng issue, no? Nagkaroon po ng issue. Ano po yung issue? Paano ho yung mga judges or justices na namatay before 9946 took effect or before February 11, 2010? Halimbawa, namatay po yung judge February 2000. Yun po bang asawa ni judge or ni justice makakatanggap ng survivorship benefits? Ano po ang sabi ng Supreme Court dito in 271 instances? Sabi po ng Supreme Court, no? Yes, makakatanggap sila kahit namatay yung mga judges or justices before the law took effect. But they will receive survivorship benefits not from the time their spouses died, but from the time the law took effect, which is February 11, 2010. Okay? So kung si judge po namatay February 2000, si Mrs. o si Mr. nung judge, no? Kung babae si judge, makakatanggap po yan ng retirement benefits not from year 2000 but beginning 2011 hanggang mamatay yung asawa. Napakaliwanag din po yon sa Section 3B. No? Ano po nangyari? Meron pong adverse view or opposite view doon sa Supreme Court. Sabi, hindi pwede. Kasi napakaliwanag ng batas, dapat yung retirement laws na yan, prospective. So yung mga judges at justices na namatay before 2010, ang kanilang mga asawa hindi na makakatanggap. Okay? Now, dahil ho merong ganong conflicting view, no? Nagtayo po yung sinasabi po nyo, Your Honor, na committee at technical working groups. Nagtayo po ng isang committee. Ang tawag po sa committee, katulad po nung nabanggit nyo, Special Committee on Retirement and Civil Service Benefits. No? And then, under the committee, yung pong committee na yan, itinatag po yan, at ang pumirma po dyan, yung tatlong maestrado. Chief Justice, at yung as chairperson and Chief Justice, and chairperson of the First Division, chairperson of the Second Division, si Justice Antonio Carpio, and chairperson of the Third Division, si Justice Presbitero Velasco. Now, under the committee, nagtatag din po ng dalawang technical working groups. Okay? Yung isang technical working group was created sometime December 2015, and that technical working group was created and the creation was approved by Chief Justice Sereno. Meron po akong pero Xerox copy lang po ang hawak ko. No?
Please submit that document also.
Yes, Your Honor. So nakalagay po dito, approved December 22, Maria Lourdes P.A. Sereno.
Siya lang ang nag-approve niya.
Siya lang po ang nag-approve.
Thank you.
Ito po yung TWG to screen applications. No? Another TWG actually was created under this committee. Ang
Mr.
tawag
Chair.
naman po, Legal TWG. Wala po akong papel nun, pero makikita po yan, no, sa desisyon ng Supreme Court in AM number 17-08-01-SC promulgated September 19, 2017. Ito po ay penned by Justice Martires. Papaliwanag ko po itong decision na ito mamaya. But just to give you a background, Dalawa po ang TWG na created under that committee at saad po yan dito sa decision na to. Ng Supreme
Sino
Court.
nag-create nung second TWG?
Malamang po si Chief Justice Sereno rin po.
Mr. Chair,
Just a point of inquiry.
We recognize Congressman Doyle.
may we ask Justice Marquez, was that creation of another or sub-TWG under the imprimatur of the Supreme Court as a collegial body or in bank?
Kung si Chief Justice lang po nakapirma, most probably po, hindi ho alam ng Court and Bank.
Okay. Thank you.
So, may I proceed, Your Honor?
Please proceed.
So, ano po nangyari? Dahil nagtatagpo ng isang committee at dalawang TWGs under that committee, ano po nangyari? All applications received by the Office of the Clerk of Court and Bank beginning October 2015 were held in abeyance. Beginning October 2015. Excuse me. Bago po nag-create ng committee at ng technical working group, ang proseso po ay, okay, kung meron pong claimant, no, meron pong surviving spouse na gusto pong makatanggap ng survivorship benefits, ang gagawin po ni surviving spouse, dudulog po sa Office of the Court Administrator, magfa-file ng application. Ito pong application na ifa-file ng surviving spouse, pag-aaralan ng, meron po tayong isang opisina na ang talagang trabaho ay tumanggap lamang ng mga applications. No? Titingnan, pagka-kompleto na po lahat ng requirements, no? Kasi meron po tayong mga requirements yan. No? Pag-kompleto na po lahat ng requirements, we in the Office of the Court Administrator will recommend whether to grant or deny the application. At ito po, isasubmit sa Office of the Clerk of Court and Bank. So yun po ang proseso before. No?
Mr. Chair, sinusundan ko po kasi base sa complaint para hindi po mawala. Tatanungin ko lang si Justice Marquez sa sinabi niya. Ano? So, sa 4.4.1, nakalagay sa complaint ni Attorney Gadon, the Supreme Court has in several occasions promptly acted upon petitions for retirement benefits, considering the urgency of the matter since retirees more often than not need their benefits. Yan yung sinasabi niyo po, Justice, na dati mas mabilis yung proseso. So tama po yung 4.4.1.
Opo, sir. Mamaya ho, may papakita rin po ako na kung paano...
Para lang hindi ako mawala, doubting the 4.4.2, doubting the previous resolutions of the court which granted some of the petitions, Respondent Sereno created a technical working group headed by one of our lawyers who knew nothing much. So ayon sa sinasabi niyo, totoo nga, nag-create siya. Siya mismo, nag-create siya lang ng technical working group, dalawa.
Opo.
Oh, tama pala. Therefore, ito nasabi niyo po kasi, 4.4.3. Therefore, all petitions for retirement benefits were referred to the TWG which hardly convened. Hence, practically all petitions were shelved until her lawyers could come up with the recommendation. All these petitions have been pending for 2 years or more. Ito po yung nasabi niyo. Mula nun, wala na.
Ganito po nangyari, no? Pagkatapos ko po natanggap yung mga requests for to expedite the resolution of survivorship applications sometime October, November, December of 2016, no? Katulad po nung binasa ko kanina, yung series of exchanges namin sa text messages. Sumulat po ako sa address kay Chief Justice Sereno. And my letter is dated January 12, 2017. Okay? It was received by the Office of the Chief Justice on the same date, January 12, 2017. Basahin ko lang po some of the what I think are pertinent provisions of the letter.
Please do.
From 2010 to September 2015, the court already approved some 271 The court already approved some 271 applications for survivorship pension, of the surviving spouses of judges who retired or died before the effectivity date. Retroactive not on the date of retirement or death, but on February 11, 2010, the effectivity date of RA 9946. Considering that kasi po sulat ko January 2017, no? Considering that it has been more than a year since the court's last action on the pending applications for survivorship pension, and since majority of the surviving spouses are already beyond 80 years old, there's a compelling need to expedite the actions on these 29 applications. Tapos nilista ko po yung 29 applications. Nakalagay po, no? Pangalan po ng surviving spouse, ng claimant, yung ages po nila, nakalagay po dito 92, 90, 87, 87, 87, 86, 85, 85, 84, 83, 83, 82, 81. No? Doon po sa Court of Appeals at Court of Tax Appeals, 94 ang age, no? 94, 79, 98. No? At nakalagay din po yung date of application kung kailan sila nag-apply. At sinabi ko po na the Office of the Court Administrator has been receiving a number of calls and visits from the surviving spouses and or their relatives following up their respective applications the past 2 months nung November, December, no? Considering that many of them are past 80 years old already and not in perfect health, they may no longer be able to avail themselves of the benefits rightly due them. In view of the foregoing, it is most respectfully recommended that the court treat the matter urgently and make a definitive ruling on the same at the soonest possible time for your honor's consideration and approval.
Please submit a copy of that letter too. Anyway, for the information of everyone, we're treating this testimony of Attorney Marquez as part of his narration of facts. So I hope, I beg the indulgence of everyone. I'm not counting this as part of the clarificatory questioning of Kong Rimpi at this point in time, because we need to lay this out first so that this will be clearer, para lang malinaw. Ano. Please continue, Attorney Marquez.
Mr. Chair, may isang missing link lang. Anong pangalan ng lawyer ni Chief Justice Sereno?
Yung sa TWG?
May binasa kanina.
Nandun sa TWG.
4.4.2, doubting the previous resolutions of the court which granted some of the petitions, Respondent Sereno created a TWG headed by one of her lawyers. And this was repeated in 4.4.3. Again, hence, practically all petitions were shielded until her lawyer. Sino po tong lawyer nito? If you know.
Your Honor, meron pa, hiningi na po ni Chair yung kopya ng where the Chief Justice approved, no, the creation of the technical working group. At nakalagay po dito, no, that the committee further resolved to recommend that the TWG be composed of the following. Nandito naman po yung mga pangalan.
Please read into the record.
Number 1, Attorney Jocelyn T. Fabian. Number 2, Miss Maria Crescencia D. Sunga. Number 3, Mr. Policarpio G. Fua. Number 4, Miss Charlotte C. Labayani. Number 5, Representative from the Human Resource Management Division, Court of Appeals. Number 6, Representative from the Administrative Division, Sandigan Bayan. And number 7, Representative from the Human Resource Division, Office of Administrative and Finance Services, Court of Tax Appeals.
So yung lawyer dyan, yung Attorney Fabian, is it the right to conclude that you're referring to Attorney Fabian?
Your Honor, hindi ho akong gumawa.
Attorney Gadon, you're referring to Attorney Fabian.
Assuming, Your Honor, that she is from the office of the Chief Justice, Your Honor, then she must be it, Your Honor.
We subpoenaed Attorney Fabian, di ba? Is she around? Sorry, we invited her. Is she around? Nandito ba? Please stand to be recognized if you're here.
And Mr. Chair, she was described here as chairperson, technical working group, special committee on retirement and civil service benefits of our list of resource persons.
So, Comsec, did we issue an invitation to Attorney Fabian? And when did she receive this? The chair notes that an invitation was sent to her and received on December 4, 2017. This invitation is also issued on even date. Any indication as to her attendance in today's hearing? Because you mentioned a while ago that attorney capacity is coming after lunch at 2 o'clock. Was there any indication of what time she will appear? What is the pleasure of Shokos? So what is the pleasure
Mr.
of...
Chair, that a subpoena ad testificandum be issued by the committee to Attorney Jocelyn Fabian, who had earlier been invited by the committee but had not responded in any form or way.
Hindi, subpoena na. Wala siya. Okay, so let a subpoena be issued to Attorney Jocelyn Fabian for her attendance in the next hearing, which will be tomorrow.
Mr. Chair,
Please,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Justice Maidas, you mentioned earlier one special committee on retirement, and that is covered by 43-2015, right? You are now mentioning this technical working group headed by Attorney Fabian. You mentioned earlier two technical working groups. One, screening committee. Second, the legal committee.
Legal TWG.
So, anong committee ito si Attorney Fabian? Sa screening committee or legal committee?
Your Honor, doon po, ang meron lang po akong kopya ng creation is the screening committee. Actually, it's not a screening committee, it's a screening technical working group para lang po ma-distinguish natin sa committee.
Okay, so this Attorney Fabian is the head of the screening technical working group.
Well, mukhang ganun ho. Although dito po sa approval, hindi po nakalagay kung siya yung chair o siya yung head, siya yung... Wala pong nakalagay dito.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, I would like to ask Justice Maidas, ano po ang naging kasagutan ng Supreme Court Chief Justice sa sulat po ninyong yan?
Sir, tapusin ko lang po yung ano.
Please proceed.
And then dito po sa isang notice of meeting ng Special Committee on Retirement and Civil Service Benefits, meron pong nakapirma dito, Attorney Jocelyn T. Fabian, Chairperson, TWG, Legal. Legal. So anyway, pagka katulad
again, please submit that document to this committee.
Yes, Your Honor. Ano po ang naging kasagutan doon sa aking liham na may petsang January 12, 2017? Wala pong nangyari doon eh. Wala pong sagot. No?
Justice, paano po yung retirement benefits ng mga binanggit
Kaya
yung
po,
tao?
punta ho tayo sa susunod na slide. From October 2015 to November 6, 2017, no application was acted upon. So, more or less, kung tama po yung aking bilang, 2 years, 1 month, and 5 days po yun. Sir, bago ko lang po makalimutan na po, kasi hinihingi po ng committee ang kopya ng aking liham na dated January 12, 2017. Dito po sa aking liham na to, nakabanggit po dito yung pangalan ng mga claimants, surviving spouses, all 29 of them. May I request, Your Honor, that the names of the claimants be held confidential. Kasi po medyo we treat this confidentially yung pangalan po nila. So kung mapupunta po sa inyo tong kopya, sana po ay hindi natin ilabas. Kasi po, may security concern po, no? Many, or if not all of them, no, will stand to receive substantial amounts. And many of them are from the provinces po. So, para ho hindi sila, baka biglang dumami ho yung kamag-anak nila pagka nakatanggap sila nito.
Mr. Chair, one clarification.
The COMSEC is hereby directed to keep this matter confidential. It is advised that please submit to the chair, and then the COMSEC is hereby directed to put this in a sealed envelope with Attorney Marquez to also sign this sealed envelope just for security purposes.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, my last question na lang po. Then I will relinquish the floor already. So, kay Justice Maidas, without meaning to cast aspersions on you, sir, you're the court administrator. How come, sir, you do not have copies of the creation of the technical working groups, legal and screening? What happened in this instance?
Well, makakatanggap lang naman ho ako nun kung padalan ako. Kung hindi ho ako padalan, hindi ko rin ho alam kung anong nangyayari. No? So, in fact, kaya ko lang ho na laman yan kasi nga, inalam ko bakit maraming tumatawag at maraming mga petitions, applications, hindi na actionan. No?
So, para pong nakikita ko yung nangyari nung nakaraan, creation of a decentralized office outside the office of the court administrator. Ngayon, tinanggal din yung retirement benefits. Wala nang kaalaman ng court administrator. I have no further questions, Mr. Chair.
Attorney Marquez, who would have custody of these missing documents that you mentioned, yung TWG on legal?
Well,
I'm sure.
Nakapirma ho dito, as I've mentioned earlier, si Attorney Jocelyn Fabian. So, she may have documents on the creation of these TWGs.
So let a subpoena duces tecum et ad testificandum likewise be issued on these particular documents and for the custodian of this record to testify for purposes of clarifying this matter before this committee.
Chair.
Mr. Chair, para
Mr. Chair.
yung mga pangalan lang po. Isa sa nasupina natin is Miss Charlotte Labayani, Chief Judicial Staff Officer ng Employees Welfare Benefits Division. Ano ito? Who is she in relation dito sa mga retirement benefits?
Si Miss Labayani po is under the office of the court administrator. She was also invited and she is here present this morning. Si Miss Labayani po. Siya po yung unang nagpo-process, yung opisina po niya, ang unang nagpo-process ng mga retirement applications prior to the creation of the committee and the TWGs.
Ms. Labayani, please join us and take your seat.
Just to be clear, she works for the office of the court administrator. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. She's with the office of the court administrator. Kasi nga katulad po nung nasabi ko kanina, prior to the creation of the committee and TWGs, ang office of the court administrator po doon ho fina-file at kami ho ang nagpo-process. So it's Miss Labayani ho ang head ng office na yun. Sir, tuloy po tayo doon sa slide, no? Para lang makita natin, just to give us a semblance of kung ano yung nangyari, no? So, katulad ng nasabi ko kanina, no application was acted upon for around 2 years, 1 month, and 5 days, no? So, tingnan po natin yung data, no? Dito po sa data, makikita niyo po, dyan, no? Judge 1, no? Age, 92 years old. Date referred to en banc, March 30, 2016. No? Time elapsed until 6 November 2017. 1 year, 7 months, and 8 days. No? Si spouse of Judge 2, 90 years old. Ganun din po. Yung aming yung aming recommendation ng OCA referred March 30, 2016. That list goes on, no? 92, 90 years old, 87, yan. No? Mahaba po yan, no? Doon po, meron pa pong pending applications, no? Yung sa Court of Appeals at saka Court of Tax Appeals, no? Yan po, no? Asawa po nung Justice 1, 94 years old. Yung asawa ni Justice 2, 79. Yung asawa ni Justice 4, 98. No? Now, I did my research, no? I did my research. Kasi ho, ako sumulat, katulad ng nasabi ko sa inyo, January 12, 2017, no? At katulad po ng sagot ko sa tanong kung ano nangyari sa aking liham, sabi ko wala pong nangyari, no? So I did my research. Yung complainant po, no? Si Mr. Gadon, held a press conference on July 29, 2017. At kasama po doon sa press conference niya, isa sa mga articles of impeachment na sinabi niyang isasampa niya, no, ay itong retirement at survivorship benefits. No? Hindi ko po alam kung nagkataon lamang, pero 1 week after July 29, 2017, the Court and Bank first heard this issue. Na-agenda po sa Court and Bank on August 8, 2017. And that is itong AM number 170801-SC. It was first included in the agenda of the Court and Bank on August 8. And then, nag-deliberation ulit sila ng August 22. At tapos, nag-deliberation ng August 29. And finally, in just a month, no? Nakapaglabas po ang Court and Bank ng decision. No? Mabilis po. Ito po yun, no? Penned by Justice Martires. No? Now, yung ano po ang sinabi, ang nangyari po kasi dyan, no? Yung committee, nung medyo siguro, natatagalan na nga, no? Dahil 2 taon na walang lumalabas, ni-refer na po kaagad nila itong matter to the Court and Bank. Kaya nung August 8 po, na-agenda kaagad. No? Now, lumabas po yung decision promulgated September 19, 2017. Let me quote some pertinent portions of the decision. No? Sabi po ni Justice Martires, no? Thus, and I quote, thus, there is no question that the benefits under RA 9946 extend to those who died before 11 February 2010. This would include the survivorship benefits in favor of surviving spouses of such deceased justices and judges. The court sees no compelling reason at this point to revisit this ruling. So, ito pong ruling ng Court and Bank na to is consistent with the 271 rulings of the court prior to the creation of the committee and the two TWGs. No? No. Tingnan po natin, because of this decision, no, promulgated on 19 September 2017, yan po, unti-unti na pong naglalabasan ang resolution ng court. No? Kanina po, pinakita ko sa inyo yung asawa ni Judge Juan. Yung kanyang petition was referred to the court and bank on March 30, 2016. Na-approve lang po ngayong November 7, 2017. Okay. I listed 29 pending petitions or applications. No? Out of the 29, 12 petitions were all approved. And the approval was, the decision of the court was consistent with the jurisprudence before the creation of the TWGs and the committee. No? So pareho lang ho, walang pinagkaiba. No? Now, just for comparison po, no? Just for comparison, paano ho ba nung before the committee and the TWGs were created? Paano po ba? Gaano po bang kabilis lumalabas ang resolutions ng court before the committee and the TWGs were created? No? Ang katulad po ng nasabi ko kanina, we had 271 applications. No? So, mahirap naman pong isa-isahin yung 271 applications, kaya kumuha lang ho ako ng 5 petition, no? Applications, randomly. No? Tingnan po natin. No? Doon po sa AM number 15437-retirement, the Office of the Court Administrator referred our recommendation to the Court and Bank on February 17, 2015. In around 2 weeks, February 24, 2015, lumabas na po yung resolution. Doon po sa isang kaso, sa isang administrative matter, 14761-retirement, na-file po ng Office of the Court Administrator sa Court and Bank Clerk of Court on 26 June 2013. Lumabas po, mga 2 linggo, 9 July 2013. No? Nung isa po, 14565-retirement, we filed it 17 January 2013. Lumabas po, February 12, 2013, 3 weeks. No? So dito po sa 5 halimbawa, makikita po natin na in 2 or 3 weeks, lumalabas po ang resolution ng court. No? Kaya lang po, after the committee was created and the TWG was organized, no? Umaabot minsan ng mahigit 2 taon bago ma-desisyonan ang kanilang mga applications. No? In ending, Your Honors, I beg the indulgence of this body for being passionate about this issue because it is my firm belief that the resolution of retirement benefits should be prioritized and should not suffer any delay at all. As many of the applicants have earned this over a period of long years. They are very old and they need all the help we can extend. Maraming salamat po.
Point of information, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Vice Chair.
Section 7, Article 8 reads, a member of the judiciary must be a person of proven competence, integrity, probity, and independence. And Article 11, Section 1 says, public officers and employees must at all times be accountable to the people, serve them with utmost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency, act with patriotism, justice, and lead modest lives. My point here, Mr. Chair, is that if it is true that the respondent did not act efficiently on retirement claims, benefits of widows in particular, then she did not act with utmost responsibility, she did not act with efficiency, and she did not act with justice in violation of Article 11, Section 1 of the Constitution. Bago kasi pag-usapan Kasi nangyayari pagdating sa media, so what? Hindi naman impeachable offense yan. Binabasa ko lang po ang ground for impeachment. Thank you.
Thank
Your
you,
Honor.
Vice Chair.
Your Honor.
Dali mo na, no? Any points from the members?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman.
Si ano muna, si Kong Pido.
What Justice Maidas pointed out here is the date he referred to in bank, no? In this case, is 70 February. This is no question, but the other one, the other set that you showed before, if we could go back. The one that was not yet approved. There. No, the non-approval. Yan. So, it was referred en banc, or the judge one, the date referred en banc was March 30, 2016. When did they apply? Because we have to know. And who referred them to en banc?
Ganito po yun, sir. Your Honors. The claimants, no, the surviving spouses,
Yes.
will apply to be in the office of the court administrator.
When there is no date of the application, so that we can
meron
also
po,
know.
meron po, sir.
Hindi na ilagay dito. So that we also know the time frame, the difference between the time that they applied and the time that you referred it to.
Okay, sir, paliwanag ko po yon. Doon po sa sulat ko na sinabmit ko po sa committee na merong mga pangalan,
Opo.
nasabi ko kung pwedeng itago po natin yung mga pangalan.
Yes, yes.
Meron pong date of application. Okay, kaya lang po, hindi natin masyadong, well, okay lang po, no, tingnan natin yung date of application. Kaya lang po kasi, kalimitan, nag-apply po yung surviving spouse, no? Minsan po, isang liham lamang yon. Hindi po nila alam yung mga requirements. So, sasabihin po namin sa kanila, you will have to comply and submit these requirements. So, pag nakasubmit na po sila ng requirement, that is the time we in the Office of the Court Administrator will do an assessment of that application and file the appropriate recommendation to the court through the Office of the Clerk of Court and Bank.
So in this case, Mr. Chairman, the ones that were not acted upon, will you go back to those, wala pa yung time? Yeah, oh, that's all right, no? Who referred them to the bank? Was it your office?
Yes, Your Honor. Kami po.
So, it was referred March 30, 2016, and it was acted only 1 year, 7 months, 6 months, 6 days later. So, it is not the Chief Justice who did not act on it. It was the bank who did not act on it.
Pwede po natin alamin kung saan natulog yung papel.
Yes, that is what we would like to know. Kasi we cannot also...
Kaya ko po...
Kukunin natin yung
Okay.
mga testimonya na yan from the proper witnesses.
Mr. Chair, if I may, kaya ko po pinakita kanina kung kailan unang na-agenda, and I think that was August 8, 2017. Doon unang na-agenda, meaning it was referred to the court, to the justices, no? Only around August 2017. Kasi unang na-agenda po August 8 eh. So prior to that po, nasa committee yun.
No. Because here, it was referred en bank on March 30 of 2016.
Medyo confusing ho kasi, sir, ganito po, no?
It was referred to the committee.
Okay.
Not to the en bank then. From mali itong kwan mo
Sige,
dito.
tapusin muna natin ang sagot.
From the office of the court administrator, normally pupunta na po yan sa office of the clerk of court and bank. Okay? Nung wala pa pong committee, okay? Ang ginagawa po ng office of the clerk of court and bank, ira-raffle na kaagad yan. At pupunta na po yan sa isang justice in charge. Kaya po, yung wala pa pong committee, mapapansin nyo, in 2 to 3 weeks after we file it before the office of the clerk of court and bank, meron na pong desisyon ang Supreme Court. Now, what happened after the committee was created? After the committee was created, pag-file po namin ng OCA sa office of the clerk of court and bank, binibigay po sa committee. Hindi po kaagad niraraffle, hindi po napupunta sa mga justice.
So in other words, it did not slip, the papers that slip with the Supreme Court Justice and Bank, it slept dun sa committee. That was created.
Maaring ganun ho, kasi kaya ko ho pinakita sa inyo kung
Yes.
kailan unang na-agenda, which is on August 8 lamang, 2017. And nakita niyo po doon, ni-refer po namin yan sa NBank, 2016 pa po.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Malinaw
Chairman.
na
I'm
yan,
clear on that
Malinaw.
already. Yeah.
Mr. Chair?
Just for the information of everyone, meron tayong listahan dito. But just on this point, we'll just recognize Kong Pido
Mr. Chair.
for a few questions
Mr.
on
Chair.
this particular point.
Just a point of inquiry on the part of the complainant. Are you going to present the petitioners or the real party in interest, those who will be aggrieved or who stands to be benefited or injured by the creation of this committee?
I tried to talk to one of the daughters of one of the petitioners, Your Honor. However, she declines to appear, and I cannot force her. But another note, Your Honor, one of the survivors, Dali Kulaiko, who died on September 10 prior to the approval and bank of the survivorship benefits. After the resolution was issued by the Supreme Court approving the applications or the petitions for survivorship benefits, the court spokesman, Attorney Teodor Te, announced that the benefits would accrue to the heirs anyway, so there's no problem. I'd like to point out, Your Honor, that the law on survivorship benefits was intended to the surviving spouse, for the use of the surviving spouse for the medicine requirements, check-up, and whatever needs of the surviving spouse. It is not intended as an inheritance. So therefore, if that is the position of Attorney Teodor Te, then he is creating a judicial legislation, and that is illegal. Because that is not intended as an inheritance.
That's right. Do you intend any of the spouses to be presented before this committee?
And no more, Your Honor, because what Justice Midas has related to the Honorable Committee will suffice my my charges.
Okay,
It
for an
clearly
orderly
explains
conduct,
everything, Your Honor.
okay na, no? For the orderly conduct of this
Mr. Chair.
proceeding,
Chair.
let me just...
On this point also, Mr. Chair.
Sandali lang, ano? Let me just request the members who would like to ask clarificatory questions to please register your name. And in my list, we have already recognized Congressman Bondok. Next in line is Congressman Garcia, then Marcoleta, then Rocamora, Leachon, Belmonte, and Batocabe. Para lang merong mas orderly yung ating proceeding. No? So we will recognize, we will, sorry, we will recognize the members who would like to ask questions in accordance with this list. No? So, paki-register lang dito sa kay COMSEC. So, okay.
Thank you.
Sandali muna, no? Will there be questions? Siguro, nandito si Miss Labayani. Are you a lawyer? Hindi. And, you know, para isahan na lang ito, may I direct the COMSEC to please administer the oath to Miss Labayani.
Good morning, ma'am. Please raise your right hand and state your name for the record.
I'm Charlotte Labayani.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this impeachment proceeding?
I do, sir.
Thank you. You may take your seat.
Is there any other invited guest for today's hearing who are present? Si Miss Globio? Si Fabian, di ba? Si Attorney Papagombio. Was she invited? And did she receive the invitation? So in like manner that we issued a subpoena to Attorney, sino yun? Attorney Fabian, a subpoena is likewise issued to Attorney Gombio. Okay, so you have the floor, Congressman Duen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Perhaps I should just pick up from the last statement from Attorney Gadon in order to clear up some questions which may be in the minds of my colleagues. At issue here are the benefits that the surviving spouse would receive in case a justice of the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeals, the Sandigan Bayan, the Court of Tax Appeals, the RTC, the MTCC, the MTC, dies. And these benefits of the surviving spouse are underlined, in fact, are given legal status by Republic Act 946, which effectively amended Republic Act 910. Is this correct, Justice Marquez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ibig sabihin, yung issue dito ay yung tatanggapin ng surviving spouse ng justice or judge kung mamatay yung justice or judge.
Opo, tatanggap po siya ng same amount kung ano po natatanggap ni judge or ni justice habang nabubuhay pa siya. Yun din po ang matatanggap ng kanyang asawa pag namatay na po si judge or si justice habang buhay po yung asawa.
Habang buhay yung asawa.
Opo.
Kaya nga po, you read that particular amendment to 910.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ito po yun under Section 3, which states, upon the death of a justice or judge of any court in the judiciary, if such justice or judge has retired or was eligible to retire optionally at the time of death, the surviving legitimate spouse shall be entitled to receive all the retirement benefits that the deceased justice or judge would have received had the justice or judge not died. The surviving spouse shall continue to receive such retirement benefits until the surviving spouse's death or remarriage. Ito po yun.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just to answer the questions, I think, of some of my colleagues, kasi po, nabanggit kanina, sinabi po daw ni spokesperson na kahit na namatay na itong isang surviving spouse, mag-a-accrue naman yun sa mga heirs. Ngunit, as provided under 910 and reiterated under Republic Act 9946, insofar as the surviving heirs are concerned, please confirm this, Justice Marquez. Ito po, nakalagay, Section 2, in case a justice or a judge, hindi ko nasasabihin sa lahat ng mga courts, dies while in actual service, his or her heirs shall receive a lump sum of 5 years gratuity computed on the basis of the highest monthly salary plus the highest monthly aggregate of other allowances. So in other words, iba po, yung surviving spouse, iba yung natatanggap niya. As specifically amended by 9946. Yun pong anong sinasahod po ng kanyang judge or justice na spouse nung siya ay buhay pa. Ngunit, yung mga heirs po, kung sakasakaling mamatay yung justice, yung natatanggap ng heirs, hindi ito surviving spouse po, yung natatanggap ng heirs ay yung 5 years lump sum. gratuity. Tama po ba?
Tama po yun. Kasama rin po doon sa heirs yung surviving spouse.
Yes.
So doon sa unang lump sum na matatanggap po, kasama po doon yung spouse. Now, doon po sa later on, no, pagkatapos po ng lump sum, at tumatanggap na po, supposed to be, yung judge or justice ng pension. No? Ito po yung monthly salary, no? Na dapat matatanggap ni judge or ni justice kung nabubuhay pa siya.
Opo.
Yun po ang
I
matatanggap.
just wanted to draw the distinction po na siguro hindi entirely accurate kung sasabihin na yung tatanggapin ng surviving spouse as provided for under Republic Act 9946 is the same as what the heirs would receive as provided for in both Republic Act 910 and Republic Act 9946.
Tama po kayo, sir.
Ibig
Your Honor.
sabihin po, at issue here is whether or not itong mga surviving spouses of the justices, when these justices died before the implementation or effectivity of 9946, kasi ito po ang pinaka-significant na amendment, hindi po ba? This is a very significant amendment of 910, of Republic Act 910. Ito po yung pagbigay ng additional benefit to the surviving spouse. Tama po ba?
Tama po yun. Kasi under 910 po, pag namatay na yung judge, tapos na.
Tapos na, yung heirs na lang tatanggap.
Yung heirs, sa lump sum po yun.
Sa lump sum po, okay.
Tapos
Yun po.
wala na pong pension yun kasi namatay na si judge.
Opo. Kaya walang mention nga in Republic Act 910 yung spouse. Yung surviving spouse.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung mini-mention lang po, yung heirs. Opo. So, in other words, nung sinabi nyo, and this law, 9946, became effective, kasi approved ito January 13, 2010, signed by then President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, and this became effective February 11, 2010.
That is right, Your Honor.
So yung naging issue dito, kasi walang question naman ng mga justices or judges that died after the effectivity of Republic Act 9946. Naging question lang dito, yung mga nagka-claim na surviving spouses of those judges or justices who died prior to the effectivity of Republic Act 9946, and which was February 10, 2011. Yung mga namatay po prior to February 11, 2010, yun po ang naging question. Kung sila rin po ba makaka-enjoy, yung mga surviving spouses, makaka-enjoy nung mga benefits na yon, yung tatanggapin na highest monthly salary or yung pension. Tama po ba?
Tama po yun.
Okay.
But, Your Honor, if I
Alam
may
ko po,
add.
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
So anong naging proseso po prior to the creation nung hindi pa ginawa itong Special Committee on Retirement and Civil Service Benefits? Gusto ko lang, sinabi niyo na po yan, pero just for more clarity, ano ba talaga ang naging proseso doon sa Supreme Court kung may mga petitions or claims?
So, every application or petition for survivorship benefits, no, pinafile po yan ng petitioner or applicant sa Office of the Court Administrator. Pag na-file po yan, titingnan po namin yan kung kompleto yung requirements. Pag hindi po kompleto yung requirements at malimit, hindi po kompleto ang requirements, we will advise the claimant, no? Bibigyan po namin siya ng list of requirements, ituturo po namin paano mag-comply doon sa requirements, at aantayin po namin siyang makapag-comply sa lahat ng requirements. Now, pag nakapag-comply na po siya sa lahat ng requirements, we will now assess and we will make the appropriate recommendations, whether to grant or deny the claim. Yung amin pong recommendation, isasubmit po namin sa Office of the Clerk of Court and Bank. Ito pong recommendation na to ay iraraffle po sa isang justice in charge. And after that, it will be included in the agenda, and then the court will resolve the matter.
Okay po. So, you're the court administrator po. Ilang taon na po kayong naging court administrator ng Supreme Court?
Malapit na pong 8 years. Mag-8 years na po as court administrator.
So, in your 8 years as court administrator, would you remember ilang petitions or claims for survivorship benefits ang na-file po in the office of the court administrator?
Your Honor, if you're referring to...
Yung survivorship lang po, kasi ito lang issue natin eh.
yung survivorship na ang namatay yung na-spouse
Namatay yung...
before.
Ibig sabihin, namatay yung justice or judge.
Before.
Yes,
Before the law took effect.
Hindi. Sa lahat, okay, let us put a
Parameter.
dichotomy there, a distinction. Before the law took effect, which was February 11, 2010.
The court...
But these survivorship petitions were asking for the same benefits that those that died, yung mga namatay po, after the 1946 took effect.
Okay, yung
before po.
Yung before po, 1946 took effect, no? Yung mga namatay na judges and justices before February 11, 2010. Okay? The court has approved 271 based on our records, no? The court has approved 271 applications.
In other words, sinasabi niyo pong approved. Anong inuphold ng Supreme Court and Bank in all of those, sa lahat ng 271 cases na yon?
Ang sabi po ng Supreme Court, yung pong surviving spouse ay covered, meaning they can receive survivorship benefits, although not retroactive to the time of death of their spouses, but retroactive to the time the law took effect, which is on February 11, 2010.
Ibalik natin. Let's go back. The court upheld, inuphold ng Supreme Court 271 times na yung mga namatay na judges at justices prior to February 11, 2010, yung surviving spouses po will be entitled to the same benefits of those that died after February 11, 2010. Kaya nga lang, i-retroact ito to the time na nag-take effect itong Republic Act 1946.
Tama po yun.
Ito yung 271 cases while you were court administrator po. At yun po ang sinusunod na proseso.
Tama po yun.
Kasi po, sa tansyan nyo lang, anong period kaya? Meron bang mga nadidelay nito sa 271 cases? May mga complaints ba na after na isubmit yung lahat ng mga requirements, tumatagal ng unbank resolution for 2 years, 5 months, and 1 day?
Base po doon sa aming ginawang pag-aaral, no? Because as I've said, meron po tayong 271 petitions before. Kumuha lang po kami at random ng 5 applications, no? At yun po ang pinakita ko na chart kanina po, na doon po makikita natin, no? Doon po sa 5 applications na yon, ang average time to resolve after the Office of the Court Administrator submits its recommendation would be somewhere from 2 to 3 weeks. Lumalabas na po ang resolution from the court and bank.
Well, I would like to read to you the verified answer of the Supreme Court Justice Sereno, because she is being accused here by Attorney Gadon of eto po, dinidelay daw. Nadidelay, and she committed culpable violation of the Constitution when she delayed action. Na-delay yung action on the numerous petitions for retirement benefits of justices and judges. In her answer, sabi po niya, complainants claim that the processing of petitions for retirement benefits has been inordinately delayed is false. The exact opposite is true. In fact, changes in procedure and processes were adopted to help ensure prompt action on applications and consistent rulings and grants. She goes on further to say, andito po, and I will quote, previously, petitions for retirement benefits were decided on the basis of recommendations from the different offices of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals, the Sandigan Bayan, the Court of Tax Appeals, and the evaluation, appreciation of the member in charge to whom the petition is assigned or raffled. At ito po, this is medyo very telling, and I would like to ask you what your thoughts are on this, since previously kayo naman po ang naghahandle, after which nararaffle to a member in charge. Recommendations were received and raffled on an ad hoc basis. This resulted in many inconsistencies, with the Supreme Court being strict in some cases but lenient in others, depending on the recommendation of the member in charge. My appreciation of this statement is that in the previous process po, pumapasok yung biases siguro o kaya favoritism ba, kasi po, as per the verified answer of our Chief Justice, this resulted daw po in many inconsistencies, with the Supreme Court being strict in some but lenient in others, depending on the recommendation of the member in charge. Tanungin ko lang po kayo, sa 271 cases, kung saan in-uphold po ng Supreme Court yung survivorship benefits of those justices that died prior to effectivity of Republic Act 9946, meron ba ni isa na na-overturned? Or meron bang ni isa na na-question po? Or meron ba talagang inconsistencies po?
Doon po sa 271 applications or petitions, lahat po yon consistent, no? Wala pong inconsistencies doon sa 271 applications. In fact, Your Honor, if we're going to take into consideration the recent en banc resolution of the Supreme Court in AM number 17-08-01-SC, which was just issued or promulgated September 19, 2017, meron po ditong sinabi si Justice Martires, no, na
the court sees no compelling reason to revisit
yun po,
the ruling.
hinahanap ko lang.
Ito po yun. I jotted it down. Andyan
nakalagay
po.
po.
Can we read this? Thus, there is no question that the benefits under Republic Act 9946 extend to those who died before 11 February 2010. This would include the survivorship benefits in favor of surviving spouses of such deceased justices and judges. The court sees no compelling reason at this point to revisit this ruling. In other words po, you cannot find in any of the 271 cases an inconsistency or leniency or strictness. Ibig sabihin, as claimed here in number 70, page 35 of the CJ's verified answer, may mga inconsistencies po. Kasi yung iba lenient, yung iba naman very strict, depending on the recommendation of the member in charge. Were there inconsistencies po?
Doon po sa 271 applications, wala pong inconsistencies, no? that jurisprudence, the rulings in the 271 applications or petitions has always been consistent.
Now, lumabas yung ano
Deputy
po
Speaker, just a very short interjection. I just heard quite disturbing statement coming from the Justice, if you may permit. Justice Maidas, there was a question coming from Deputy Speaker Gwen that more or less you were asked that out of the 271 granted cases of benefits, and you said out of that you got more or less about a random of 5, and the average of resolution of those cases presented before the court coming from the office of the court administrator amounted only more or less about 2 to 3 weeks. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, comparing just for clarification, after the creation of the TWG or from the creation of the TWG and all of those cases of claims were presented before the TWG, was the 2 to 3 weeks resolution observed?
Naging 2 years na po.
So, just for clarification, from 2 to 3 weeks, naging ilan?
2 years po.
2 years.
Yes, Your Honor. For some applications, the others 1 year, more than a year. The others more than 2 years po. Iba-iba po kasi when we were able to file our recommendation.
I would not belabor the obvious, but then there is quite a significant disparity of the gap or time of the resolution of those cases compared to the time prior to the creation of TWD. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Justice. You may proceed.
So, in other words, Justice Martires was very clear in stating na walang nakikitang issue about granting survivorship benefits to those spouses for whom the judge or justice had died prior to effectivity of 1946 po.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ngunit, kahit na nairesolba na at wala namang inconsistency in the grant of these survivorship benefits sa 271 cases, create itong Special Committee on Retirement and Civil Service Benefits. Would you know at whose instance or whose initiative na create ito? Alam po natin, pribado ito ng 3 presiding justices of the 3 divisions. Ngunit, saan po ito nanggaling? Na, kasi I am trying to find out, wala naman palang question eh. Di naman pala kinu-question yung 271 unbanked resolutions granting these benefits. 271 different cases, but all referring to survivorship benefits prior to 1946. Wala naman palang question yon. Kaninong instance ito? At biglang nagkaroon ng necessity to create this special committee from which gumawa ng technical working group to process applications at tatanungin at andito po sa defense niya kasi kailangan may legal matter yata daw na kailangan there is a legal matter that needs to be determined. Ito po, I will just read. Since a majority of the issues on retirement and other civil service benefits would require legal expertise, on 15 July 2016, the Special Committee recommended the creation of the Legal Technical Working Group to study in more detail the legal concerns related to the grant of retirement benefits. Kaninong instance po ito? Kasi wala naman palang premise wala naman palang controversy sa previously decided 271 cases.
Your Honor, as to whose instance the committee was created, I do not have personal knowledge. No? However, with my long years in the Supreme Court, no, normally when a committee is created, it is initiated by the Chief Justice and signed by the two other senior justices. No? That is my experience with the Supreme Court. But as to the creation of this particular committee, I do not have any personal knowledge on whose instance this committee was created.
Okay, last two questions. First question, would you agree, Justice Marquez, na create itong special committee after which nagkaroon ng dalawang TWGs specifically on the issue of whether or not yung survivorship benefits should be given to the surviving spouses of those judges and justices that died prior to the effectivity of Republic Act 9946. Ginawa ba itong special committee na ito upang ma-determine na naman kung kinakailangan ba na bibigyan sila ng benefits kahit na in 271 cases na-determined na po yon ng Supreme Court?
From all indications, Your Honor, it would appear that way.
Before you answer, Justice Marquez, may we remind our good friend Deputy Speaker that it will be
That is what I said two last.
one last question.
Opo.
Okay, you may answer. You may proceed, Justice Maidas.
From all indications, Your Honor, it would appear that way. And also, I think, no, because I'm not privy to the cases that they are working on, it would also appear that there are other retirement issues that they want to maybe deliberate on, no? But since the complaint is solely based on this survivorship benefits, so I only focus on those.
Last question in her defense.
Before,
oh, yes.
Your Honor, may I also inform this committee that we also reviewed all those listed in my letter, no? And we see no different circumstance that would take them out of the coverage of those similarly situated approved petitions. So, kaya dito lang po ako talaga nag-focus because we reviewed itong 29 applications.
Opo, kaya nga sinabi nga walang compelling reason. Sabi ni Justice Martirez, walang compelling reason na baguhin pa yung lathala na and already decided upon in previous 271 cases. Kaya nga po, my last question, tinanong na po ito ng chairman, but just for clarity, previously, yung proseso po nyo nung mga claims bibigay sa office nyo, meron kayong under Miss
Labayani.
Yes, Labayan. Tinitingnan kung kumpleto po ba mga requirements at saka after that, forwarded na to the clerk of court at ito na'y maa-agenda. And so, kaya itong whole process, 2 weeks to 3 weeks at most po. From the complete submission of the application or petition hanggang sa maibigay yung desisyon ng Supreme Court na ibigay talaga yung survivorship benefit. Ngayon po, after the creation of this special committee and the subsequent creation of the 2 TWGs, umabot na po, ayon po sa diagram ninyo na ipakita or matrix, umabot na po ng mga 2 years mahigit. Well, I would like to call your attention to the verified answer of the Chief Justice. Sinasabi niya, kasi nga kinuha from the Office of the Court Administrator at inilagay under this special committee with the 2 TWGs. Pero sinasabi niya, under this new system, nung tinanggal na po sa inyo, there has been significant improvement in the speed, efficiency, and consistency in the processing of petitions for retirement benefits. While there may be isolated cases where petitions have not been processed as fast as the others, the delay was always for justifiable reasons. So, tanong ko po, after the creation of this new system, nagkaroon po ba ng significant improvement in the speed, efficiency, and consistency in the processing of petitions for retirement benefits?
Your Honor, kung pagbabasihan po natin yung ginawa naming timelines, wala po. Mas tumagal pa po.
And would 29 cases na sinulat po ninyo to the Chief Justice, underlining the urgency of the resolution of their petitions, would 29 cases be isolated cases po? Would you consider 29 cases that were very urgent, survivorship benefits? Kasi meron pa ngang 98 years old na yata yung spouse ibig sabihin kung mamatay na, wala na, hindi ba? Hindi na yun matatanggap kasi. Kasi that is exclusive to the surviving spouse. Hindi yan maibigay sa mga anak. Doon lang. So, would you say 29 cases na talagang very urgent at matagal na rin po na hindi na acted upon, would you say isolated cases po yun?
Hindi po, Your Honor.
No further. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you,
Chairman.
Deputy Speaker Garcia. Now, I think we have to recognize next in line for his period of interpellation, our good friend, Congressman Marcoleta.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, Justice.
Ay, magandang hapon po, sir.
Yun pong sinabi ninyo kanina na nag-text sa inyo, I think was texting you because of the request of the wife, the surviving wife of Justice Colayco. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And per your testimony, she was already 94 years old at the time.
Yun po ang nakalagay sa text po.
Was he able to enjoy the benefit eventually, Justice?
I don't have any personal knowledge, Your Honor, but it would appear from newspaper reports that Mrs. Colayco died prior to the approval of her retirement benefits.
So considering that she died before those benefits were enjoyed or given by the Supreme Court, it's unfortunate that she was unable to enjoy them.
That would be right, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice, there were allegations in the complaint that stood not refuted by the respondent Chief Justice. For example, those already taken by our colleagues earlier. In 4.4.1, the Supreme Court in several occasions promptly acted on retirement benefits. That was not refuted in the answer, in the verified answer of the Chief Justice. In 4.4.2, which alleged that she might have doubted previous resolutions of the court which granted some of the petitioners, it was not also refuted. 4.4.4, retirement petitions include 30 surviving spouses whose ages are from 86 to 94. This also was not refuted. And the allegation in 4.46, Supreme Court earlier approved similar petitions more than 200 times. In the answer, in the verified answer of the Chief Justice, these allegations were not rebutted, they are not refuted, and so will it be fair for this committee to assume that these allegations were factually established?
Well, Your Honor, I presented our facts and data, no, based on the records of our office. So, if Your Honor, please, I would leave that to Your Honor to come up with conclusions that may be inferred from the data that we have presented.
So that's precisely the reason, Mr. Justice, you just presented a PowerPoint presentation where you have seemed to also rebutted allegations that seem to have justified the delays per the answer of the Supreme Court Justice, Associate Justice. The only question is, because they were not rebutted, and more importantly, you have made presentations right before us which would have seemed to have reinforced the allegations and the complaint. I'm only asking you whether or not this committee can fairly assume now that these allegations or the factual nature of these allegations have just been established.
It would seem that way, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Justice, the Republic Act number 9946 was approved on January 13, 2010, and I believe it took effect on February 11, 2010. Why do you think that the Supreme Court issued Memorandum Order number 43, 2015 only on November 16, 2015?
I would not have any idea on that, Your Honor, why a committee and even the TWGs were created under the committee.
Because in the answer of Respondent Chief Justice, she argued that in order to improve the speed, efficiency, and even consistency in the approval of petitions, 5 years after this law took effect, the Supreme Court issued this, which, to the mind of this committee, particularly this representation, was inconsistent to that objective. Is the observation correct, Mr. Justice?
Well, Your Honor, if we're going to follow what we have presented, then it would appear that it is inconsistent with the pronouncements, Your Honor.
You said that prior to the creation of that special committee and subsequently the creation of 2 other TWGs, there has been no problem in the approval of the applications for benefits. That has been your representation before.
Yes, Your Honor, particularly applications for survivorship benefits where the judges or justices died prior to the effectivity of 9946.
And after the creation of that special committee and 2 TWGs, as you have presented in your PowerPoint presentation, between October 2015 up to November 6, 2017, or a period of more than 2 years, no applications have been approved to the detriment of some of the applicants.
That is correct, Your Honor, because the first set of approval came on November 7, 2016, and that is only 12 out of the 29 applications I have enumerated.
So to the observation of this committee, Mr. Justice, particularly by this representation, the special committee, including the creation of 2 TWGs, operated as additional layers in not being able to approve recommendations or applications for benefits. Is the observation accurate, Mr. Justice?
It would appear that way, Your Honor.
Did you have any hand in the creation of the Special Committee on Retirement and Civil Service Benefits, one way or the other?
None, Your Honor, whatsoever.
You say none as in zero.
Yes, Your Honor, zero.
But you will note that in the creation of this special committee, more particularly in the composition of that special committee, 2 employees from your offices were appointed as members, Attorney Caridad A. Pabello and Attorney Lilian Baribal Co. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Attorney Pabello is the head of our administrative services, while Attorney Co, now Assistant Court Administrator Co, was the head of our finance office.
And while discharging their offices as members of this committee, are they reporting to you also, particularly the activities and issues in relation to the applications for retirement?
I don't remember any instance, Your Honor, that we spoke about what they were doing in that committee or about applications for survivorship benefits, Your Honor.
Did you not consult with them at some point in time, Mr. Justice, considering that in your earlier testimony you wrote sometime in January or in June 12, is it January 12, 20?
January 12, Your Honor.
On January 12, 2017, I would say out of exasperation, you wrote to the Chief Justice because of the mounting applications for benefits and nothing seemed to be moving.
That is right, Your Honor.
Did you have the chance to talk to your employees only to find out why there seems to be no movement for a period of so long a time?
Yes, Your Honor. That's also the reason why it took me some time before I was able to finalize my memorandum or letter to the Chief Justice, because I had to do some research. So I spoke to some of those concerned, especially those who are from the Office of the Court Administrator, and I was informed that it is pending with either the committee or the technical working group.
Were you able to know the reason why they were pending? The applications are pending?
Your Honor, the reason, well, I was told that there were some disagreements between and among the members of the committee. And that will actually be found or verified in the decision of the court, in the resolution of the court penned by Justice Martirez. I was only able to complete the picture after I read the decision or the resolution penned by Justice Martirez. Because here, in the second paragraph, it says here, and I quote, in a memorandum dated 11 July 2017, the Special Committee on Retirement and Civil Service Benefits submitted for this court's consideration the respective positions of the members of the committee on the matter regarding survivorship pension benefits. The first position paper, labeled as Memorandum A, dated 23 June 2017, recommends the approval of the applications, whereas the second position paper, labeled as Memorandum B, dated 6 July 2017, recommends their denial. So apparently, in that committee, the members were not in agreement on how to treat these applications.
That particular disagreement, Mr. Justice, did it involve a difficult question of law?
Well,
Before Justice, before you answer, would like to remind a good friend, Congressman Marcoleta, that please wind up his line of questioning after your answer. You may proceed, Justice Midas.
well, Your Honor, I would like to think that that would call for an opinion, and it would depend on the person being asked if it involves a difficult question of law. No?
I ask that because RA 9946 was enacted by Congress, I think, in 2014. Either the law is not clear to be understood by the members of the Supreme Court, or it really involved complications that ripened into a difficult question of law, because as you were discussing and presenting your case, for 2 years, nothing happened. So why would the Supreme Court do that? Particularly, these applications are time-bound. As you have noted, the applicants or the surviving wives are all in their advanced age, from 80 to more than 90 years old. So I was just trying to ask you how difficult the disagreement is for the inaction of the Supreme Court.
Two things, Your Honor. First, when I wrote my letter, I did not want to look into the merits of those applications. That's why in my last paragraph I said, it is most respectfully recommended that the court treat the matter urgently and make a definitive ruling on the same at the soonest possible time. Second, Your Honor, my second point, it would appear from my research that even the Supreme Court did not have a difficult time in addressing the issue, because it was first included in the agenda on August 8, 2017, and in about a month's time, the Supreme Court was able to come out with a unanimous resolution, a 27-page unanimous resolution, saying in effect that the court sees no reason to revisit the earlier ruling at this time. So it would appear here that it was not before the justices or the Supreme Court en banc where the matter or the issue took time. No? It must have been with the committee or the TWG.
Republic Act 9946 was enacted in 2010. So 5 years thereafter, they were still discussing with a disagreement that resulted in the considerable delay in acting on the applications for retirement.
Only the TWG and or the committee members, because from 2010 to 2015, prior to the creation of the committee and the two TWGs, as I've mentioned, the court has approved consistently 271 petitions.
Did it occur to the Chief Justice, respondent in this case, Mr. Justice, that in the second whereas of this Memorandum Order 43-2015, it says that whereas the specific grant of these benefits required the approval of the office of the Chief Justice, and whereas to streamline the approval process, there is a need to create a special committee. In other words, the committee was precisely formed to streamline the process, not to delay the process. Is that correct, Mr. Justice?
If you will follow the whereas clauses, it would appear that really the committee was created to streamline the process,
Yes,
as
yes.
indicated in the whereas clauses.
What
Congressman, that
happened-
would be. We will allow the chair would like to allow one more question, and then after that one, we'll proceed for a break. The proceedings will be suspended in order to Justice Midas to have his lunch. You may proceed,
Okay.
Congressman Marcoleta, please,
Maraming salamat
for
po.
a last question.
Okay, so isa na lang daw, Mr. Justice, no? On page 37 of the verified answer of the Chief Justice, paragraph 76, she argued, and I quote, "The Constitution does not require the Chief Justice to act on an application for retirement and survivorship benefits within a specific period of time." That may be correct, Mr. Justice, but will this representation be correct in saying that even if there is no detailed specific duty for the Chief Justice to act within a specified period, she cannot escape the responsibility under Section 1, Article 12 of the 1997 Constitution, when it says that public officers and employees must act at all times. They must act at all times to be accountable to the people, serve them with utmost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency. I ask you whether or not this particular provision would actually fall into that responsibility that the Chief Justice should act as he must.
Your Honor, if I may, that was part of my opening statement, and I said that all of us, myself included, are public servants, and we are accountable to the people at all times. And the moment we cease to be accountable is the moment we cease to be public servants.
Okay, with that answer, I think as declared by the
Chair,
chair.
may I just conclude? I'll just conclude.
Okay, out of being liberal.
In your parting
you have your last closing statement.
in your
before we
parting statement, Mr.
suspend the
Justice,
proceeding.
you even beg our indulgence for having presented a very passionate presentation. Were you passionate because these applications must have been acted on time, considering that the applicants are about to face their creator?
Your Honor, this concerns the benefits of our judges and their spouses. And as court administrator, they are my constituents. So
that's why you were passionate.
That's right, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Meeting is and proceeding is suspended.